All iron sights video review is done, and now it is time to check the gunsmiths, and I'm trying out Cygnoux recommendation, which is identical to Kith Codm as well. Bobby Plays suggested gunsmith, then Rebalo YouTube's gunsmith, and he is basically the current #1 leaderboard player in Europe. And Carnage's gunsmith suggestion, and he is a former #1 leaderboard player in Europe. And to finalize this and earlier videos, I used the weapon for almost 13 hours. So Cygnoux and Kith Codm Gunsmith suggestion has the Task Force barrel, which improves body damage, gives bullet speed and range boost as well. And the only annoying thing about it would be the recoil, because Task Force barrel increases it and there are no attachments to reduce it. But the recoil is kind of manageable, just you have to always pull down while shooting. And when you switch to another weapon, like when I use this weapon for about 2 hours, like one time when I was recording and testing, and I switched to another gun, and I noticed that I would just keep on pulling down, even though the recoil on Type 19 BP50 is a lot easier, and so I had to kind of readjust. But like, it does not make the weapon unusable, you can still aim. Though I would prefer the tracking while shooting due to better recoil on Type 19 for instance. But it is overall a pretty usable assault rifle option. Now the range is... it would be like a somewhat close to mid-range gun variant, kind of similar to Grau. And it is usable in the current meta, like I only had issues against the USS-9. If an enemy is at least like mid or above in terms of skill level, often I would just die to them. BP50 is difficult, but kind of more or less almost even. But yeah, so main meta guns are better than the XM4. But with Gunsmith it was quite pleasant to use. Next is Bobby Plays variant, and he is using the fast reload mag and a different silencer, which does not make your weapon silenced, but improves recoil a little bit in one way and makes it worse in other. But overall with this silencer, the recoil it actually felt nicer, smoother. Now the mag, it really is not necessary, you don't need to have a 45 rounds mag on a Task Force barrel build at least. And so basically it has a slightly better recoil, worse ADS time due to the mag, faster reload but also 5 less bullets. And overall I'm not sure, I think that Bobby just did not really test many builds, just built this one and that's it and made a video. And the very first build that I tried was very similar. I also had the 45 rounds fast reload mag, so I kind of understand, but just I think it was not like a properly done testing in terms of various gunsmiths and hours put into it. But overall, like, I think you could put the 50 rounds mag and just use the silencer for better recoil if you're having an issue with the Cygnoux suggested build. And so it is almost the same otherwise. Rebalo's build uses reinforced heavy barrel instead of the Task Force barrel, so the recoil is way better, but it would be a slower build, and to tackle the slowness Rebalo decided to remove the mag, there is no mag whatsoever on it, and added a foregrip which improves mobility stats. And recoil and mobility really just feel great. However, having only 30 bullets in mag is a problem, because with this build you kind of want to be aggressive, but at the same time you cannot be full on aggressive due to the lack of ammo. And I'm not sure, like on one hand I enjoyed using it, but I don't think that it is like a very powerful option compared to other variants. But if you just need to be aggressive and just get maybe like 1-2 kills and die, but just to push a BG whatever, it could be good. Or if you're like very passive, but you see, if you're passive you don't really care about the mobility, like if you're firing from afar, then you simply would do better with a mag, which will be the next build, the Carnage's build. It is essentially almost the same but has more bullets. And well, it is a curious, interesting build honestly, but like, I don't really see a point to have it as an option in the loadouts. And finally, Carnage's recommendation. And I have to say that from the builds it is smoothest in terms of the recoil. 45 rounds mag on it, it did not feel as awkward as in the Bobby build because it is a slower gun, you don't mind the extra ADS time, and by reloading faster, if you're playing passive you can just like kill enemies, hide somewhere, reload quickly and go back into the battle and kill more enemies and repeat. So it kind of makes sense that the mag is the 45 rounds fast reload one. However, what I've also noticed is that even in the matches where I got many kills, like 30 plus kills, I could not MVP, I would finish second or even third. But that is usually because the top performers were using like main meta USS 9s, BP50s, Type 19s, and so it kind of makes sense, especially when this build is slower compared to the Task Force Barrel one, like I can just be more aggressive, get some more extra kills or kill chains even, without having to be like more passive. So I understand that. But overall, if you want like to be aggressive, consistently MVP, or like more consistently, more results, then you could use the Cygnoux Task Force Barrel variant for as long as you don't mind the extra recoil. But if you're just a chill guy or girl and want just more consistency, easier to use option with better range, then Carnage's build is really good. Rebalo's build is good if you have a loadout to spare for those times when you want just to be more aggressive without getting like kill chains whatever, but just to take OBG and die. But if you don't have spare loadouts, I for instance do not, so you don't really need to use it. And Bobby, well, the silencer that is not silenced but changes the recoil situation, it did feel nice, but in such case you can just use the 50 rounds mag and basically have a Cygnoux build with a different silence. I will surely try more gunsmiths later on, but at the moment this would be the conclusion, and I really think that Codm should at least buff the recoil on Task Force Barrel, because it doesn't make any sense. Like we have Grau, Type 19 that are similar but just have better recoil, and that would be it for now.